So, it's a dungeon. I don't know what they thought was in the giant central tower, and why they didn't think it would be a dungeon. All we need to do is, for some reason, trust Sergey.
Yeah, because, that's been such a great idea to this point.
Ah well. Might as well get puzzling. For the emotional entry test, this is actually kind of a dick. It's not really difficult to see what we have to do here, it's just that the timing on this is like 5 times as tight as it seems like it should be.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
The good news is that you can trivially retry this. It, again, doesn't actually take very long to just do, even if it is a bit of a dick. Okay. Sergey wants us to go west for totally extant reasons. And don't get me wrong, we absolutely should go west. But just to prove that you can, I'm gonna go east. It is kind of obnoxiously difficult to go east because you have to do these jumps with again, very precise timing. But I cannot stress enough that we literally were not supposed to even be going this way.
I mean,
and not only are we not supposed to be going this way, there is nothing here.
We're not even supposed to be here in a general sense at all.
Right.
So,
yes,
you know what?
In the lore, yeah, as far as the game lore is concerned, yeah, this whole thing is like us basically being out of bounds, but that's Crossworlds. In CrossCode, it still is game content that we're supposed to do, but going east here isn't even something that we're supposed to do in CrossCode. There is no point. The game is like, oh my god, why did you do that? You stupid completionist brain spider laden player. What did you think was going to happen?
You know, I appreciate that even after Sergey has, you know, if not literally betrayed us, then certainly, like,
yeah,
on a, what's the right word here,
there is a modicum of betrayal.
Yeah, on a philosophical level, he certainly has.
He let us the fuck down.
And now he's trying to make it right. So naturally, the first thing he does is leads us into a room full of enemies and says, alright, yeah, go kill these things while I work on getting us out of here.
By the way, you do remember how to fight viruses, right? I cannot stress enough how much it sucks if you reach this point and haven't figured out how to fight viruses. I am, of course, speaking completely theoretically here. If you haven't figured it out, and try to just manually do the whole thing, it takes fucking forever to whittle their health down. I don't recommend it as an experience. So, are you ready to go off the rails?
I mean, our entire existence does seem to be that in and of itself, so...
It's fitting. Also, goddammit, Sergey. Not exactly inspiring the confidence here.
You know, it must be very nice to sit here and go, actually, hang on, let's try this again, when you're not the one who gets face planted into the ground when it goes wrong.
Never hotfix production. So, it's time for this dungeon to get broken.
So we're just literally wall crawling now.
Pretty much.
Nice.
We gotta get into a bunch of specific points in a bunch of specific rooms. We are still going to have to actually solve some puzzles. I left that clip in because it was hilarious. But what we're about to see is kind of a masterclass in extremely precise puzzle difficulty balancing, in which the puzzles that we're about to have to do need to be exactly the right amount of difficult. Because we have to, like, listen to this, the music kicks up, we start doing cool shit, it's like, whoa, fucking go, 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 go. It would be an absolute catastrophe if anybody ever got stuck here. And I'm here to report that they kind of fucking nailed it, actually. Thank you, Sergey. So yeah, this is all stuff that requires the shock element to interact with. Note the name of the room. And wow, it would be weird if we somehow managed to bring the shock element into our repertoire before we came into this room and actually solved that puzzle. That would be quite something, wouldn't it? Just something to keep in mind for later.
You know what this sequence really needed?
More viruses?
I'm
thinking more viruses.
I don't think that they've established yet that you need to know how to beat viruses. Maybe a couple more. Just for good measure.
For the second time in a row, the game introduces a segment in which the only real misstep is forcing you to do combat. I'm like, man. And I think I mentioned before, I actually like fighting viruses in the abstract. They're like good enemies. I like... My brain releases the good chemicals when I fight them, so I don't mind doing this, but... Like, really? Anyway, I kept on trying to do fire techs. And I kept on forgetting that I hadn't actually gotten the level 2 fire tech, so we've got a good combo now. Also, Sergey, you... Honestly, this is such a programmer mistake to make, though. Absolutely anybody who's done software work will immediately actually sympathize with Sergey over this.
I mean, I gotta say, this is some sick Shine Spark work.
Crap, we're getting banned for cheating. Well, I guess we're now also running away from enemies. Unlike in the prologue, these guys are like pretty much a one-hit kill threat. You can actually fight them and you can like actually kill them because there's no bullshit one-hit kill laser. However, if you kill them, they will just spawn more, and they will be at a higher level. And their level can go up to the maximum, so there is absolutely no point in fighting them. Mostly they're just here to slow us down, and occasionally get in cheap hits that stop us from being able to ultimately solve the puzzle. But yeah, once again, the pacing goes up a little notch. I keep pausing to show off the room names because I think I mentioned I made a point of changing the game config so that it will always display the name of a room when we enter, which is the thing that I pretty much only did for the benefit of the LP. But when there's a conversation when you enter a room, it doesn't show the name, so I have to fix it myself. So I guess this area really needed a boss, and the literal game designer is here to accommodate it. The first thing that you might notice is that this guy has a lot of health.
That sure looked like a number that, if I was being a lazy game designer, I would shorthand as infinity.
The readout says 100 million. You should know that the readout has a display cap. The actual number is higher. It's quite a bit higher than that. Fortunately, its attack power is still pretty sane. So this is survivable. This just might take a while. The number that Sergei is reaching for here is 160 quintillion hit points. So, obviously the answer is that we're gonna cheat.
Alright, we're doing, I mean, we're gonna need bigger...
You once told me that you liked large numbers coming out of things.
I mean, as a veteran of the Final Fantasy XIII series, I do like big numbers.
Well, we are here to deliver some numbers. I can always appreciate a good application of the ++ notation for incrementation. Also, do you like bullet hell?
I very explicitly do not like bullet hell.
Well, I got some bad news then. Also, yeah, this bit is a little bit tricky to actually, like, you know, see, but that's just a detail. The good news is that, as bullet hell goes, this is actually pretty manageable.
No, yeah, this is mostly manageable.
And of course, he then says go, and then doesn't tell you that the symbol is actually going to be in the middle of the area. So, that's a good way to eat a couple hits. So, I believe we were talking about numbers.
Those are indeed some numbers.
So we are now dealing 19-digit damage. I figure further commentary is not really necessary at this point.
You know what gets me about this whole thing?
What gets you about this whole thing?
So our game designer friend here decided that, you know what, I don't want you to leave, so I'm going to spawn a boss that has functionally infinite HP, because, you know, fuck you, that's why. So, we actively start cheating in front of him, and he's just...
I fluffed up that one, by the way, but whatever.
He's just powerless to stop us, question mark?
Well, I have two observations to make. The first one is that we just did 34 quintillion damage with a Blizzard Hawk. The second observation is, like, haven't you been listening? He's impressed with the fact that we've even managed to make it this far. He's like, god damn. I keep putting this stuff in front of you and you just keep dealing with it. Like, it turns out that there actually are some circumstances in which you just gotta hand it to him.
I'm just saying that for a guy who does not want us to leave, he sure doesn't seem to be trying very hard to actually stop us.
You heard his spiel. It's all about the experience. That's what he's here for. He's got his priorities, and the experience is right at the top. Anyway, remember way back at the beginning of the game when we walked into Rhombus Dungeon and Sergey was like, oh, I see they've added a banner. I guess you can just add banners to this place. Possibly the least necessary foreshadowing ever in a game, but whatever. I feel like Sergey could have maybe put a little warning about how weird this was gonna get on one of those many banners. Maybe he just wanted it to come as a surprise.